case didn't happen far from home. It actually happened right behind our home, in the forest. I remember sleeping in the attic with my cousin. I was a little freaked out from earlier. My friends told me about this man that comes around kidnapping children. And they should never be out late because of him. They called him the Slender Man. Tap, tap, tap. I sat up quickly, bumping my head in the process. And he came again. Tap, tap, tap. But louder that time. I looked around, freaked out. It sounded like it was coming in all directions. It was like a roar that only I could hear. No one else was coming up, my cousin wasn't waking up from it. I had no idea what was going on. My vision was the darkest black. I couldn't see anything. I looked all around. I couldn't even see my hands when they were right in front of my face. Trying not to bump the very close ceiling, I rubbed my head and listened closely for any other sign of something tapping. Nothing. I slowly reached over beside me for my flashlight and gleamed it right where it sounded loudest. Something flashed for a second and disappeared. My heart pounded. I moved the flashlight all around, making the room look very gloomy in comparison. Landing my flashlight just above my cousin's face, which should be, she was there. I calmed myself for a few seconds, but it came again. This time it was more like a cackle, like a witch laughing through her nose. Evil. My light began to fade, so I quickly shook my cousin. She opened her eyes barely, then closed them, just barely whispering, "What?" I looked at her in disbelief and then sighed. "You didn't hear any of that, did you?" She nodded her head side to side slightly and said, "Heard what?" I brought up my flashlight low from her face and swiftly glanced it around the room. Bringing it back down, I replied finally, "A cackling white noise and a thumping, you woke me up." She snorted barely and whispered in her sleepy voice, "It was probably your imagination. Go back to sleep." Sighing, I dropped my head down with little to no reassurance and I fell asleep. The smell of meat cooking and the sound of mashed potatoes mashing awoke me from my daydream. I was a little shaken up from the earlier part of that day, but I let it go to the back of my mind and rushed towards the dinner table. Sitting at the dinner table, we ate and spoke. Then a strange conversation had started from my cousin, randomly joking about the tales the old people at her village talk about, making my mind wander to the deep abyss of my mind. Then I spoke up about the telltale the other children told me about. They scoffed at me, then asked my cousin to go out to the well and fetch a pail of water before we had run out. I got a little uneasy about that, but of course then laughed it off and then sent her out. I sat there uneasy for what felt like hours, and a blood-curdling scream pierced the air. We all got up in unison and ran out, unsure of what we would find. We all ran out away to the well. Nothing. There was nothing there, no trace that any human had been there not 2 seconds ago, besides a swaying pail still hooked onto the wall. I was the only one who saw it, a strange dark shape about 9 feet tall, distorting the trees and making everything look weird there. I knew it. The Slender Man was real and had taken my cousin. She has never been seen again.